J Drone here. What's going on, guys? I'm in a historical site. It's called Iron Soup. We're in Ohio, and it's crazy because the way they described it was exactly what we're seeing. They were describing it as an old industrial town, but we were just driving through a booming town, and then bam, it just stopped. One road just stopped, and then we have stuff like this. Looks like there was possibly a fire in this one. And again, you see fire. This, I don't know if these fires were the cause of people moving out or leaving or kids playing, but you can see tons of books in here. Can't see too much in here, but I'll take pictures through here. It looks like a bunch of National Geographic books. This is one thing that I never do is look at the books, and I think I need to start doing that. Our 50 states. It gives you a really good look into people's lives. Pottery. Automobile styling since 1893. That's crazy. That's a nice book too. That book's, some of these books should be saved, I think. Got a cassette tape. Let's see what's on the cassette tape. Courthouse Fundamentals. Account system. Again, somebody liked cars. You have a mug with a car on it. What is this? Oh, something gold. Gold. Free Colombian gold, maybe? We're going to maybe go to my car and get a light, because I think some of this area has been the lights, or not the lights, but the windows have been blocked out, and going up these stairs is a little rough just because there was a fire in here, so getting your footing is a little bit tough. Again, I'm treading lightly because you can see the floors aren't 100%. That's cool. Sink. Again, we're probably not going to walk in here just because the floor does not look that sturdy. But I think I'm going to get a light. That way I have it on me in case we want to try to look at stuff. Like there's the old light switch. And then we'll continue. Alright guys, so we're not going to tread in the basement too much further. Tons of books. This person liked books. If you see over there, that's one of my favorite pictures. We're going to continue on. We'll go to another one. See, some of the nicer stuff on the porch, people are definitely living in. And then other spots, people definitely aren't, like where this orange is all boarded up. Now, if you do come here and you do get permission and he does forget to tell you, don't go in this overgrown area. He said, the homeowner here doesn't want people on the property, so just stay away from this overgrown area. So here we have another one. That's cool. And again, these were probably resided in recently. I mean, that boogie board's not old. The Man DVD. I don't know where that ladder would have went to. Ladder. Need a ladder in here for something. So I don't see upstairs. You see stairs? They're over there. And again, I'm going to try to look at some of the stuff on the floor because I'm terrible with flying through buildings. And the stuff left in here, again, will give you a basic gist of who was in here. Clearly, there's kids in here. Kids blocks. There's an old mailbox. Tire. Not too much else. And again, you see maybe like a kid's sketchbook or something. Kids' toys. peeling paint out the wazoo. And this here, oh, I was gonna say probably kids' room. Again, I would bank when they were living here, the paint was probably peeling like this. I mean, that ceiling fan doesn't look old at all. At all. I mean, you got clothes in here. Restroom's been smashed. The toilet's still there. But this unit, minus some of the glass, plumbing being missing, it would need to be sanded. I mean, you sand all this paint down, repaint it, it might be salvageable, might be able to be lived in. And I think that's one of the things that they're trying to do is get some of these rooms or units salvageable and rent them out to people to preserve them. And I'm just gonna do a photo shoot, then we'll continue on. And just to show you, this isn't to publicly shame anybody, I have their name covered. Final notice bills. So along with the hardship and the condition of this, because again, I would bank it was peeling paint when they were still living in here. It just goes to show when big companies come in, and even my area, the coal area, coal town, we have small patch towns that are hurting because the coal companies came in, they provided jobs for everybody, and then once the good coal is gone, they move out. This was a steel industry here. So there's a nice shadow box there. We're just gonna continue on the way. I don't see anything else too interesting on the floor here. Gonna continue along the way and go to another unit. My wife pointed this out to me. On the back it says 4th grade reading, so it was obviously from 4th grade. It says, do you think bears would be a danger or would not be a danger to the people of Campbell? Explain. I think they would be a danger to the people of Campbell because they could break the doors down and break everything in your house and eat you and your family. That last part's pretty graphic. It's pretty graphic, but again, I'm really trying to, and here's the math book. We'll go ahead and cover up the kid's name. There's a math book. I have the kid's name covered up. This just goes to show you economic depression. These stairs look fairly good. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down here. Because again, there's no way that everything started peeling once they left. This was definitely peeling. You can see clothes at the bottom of the stairs. This was probably their washer dryer area, I would assume. And they probably just chucked the clothes down at the bottom of the stairs, let a pile go up, and then decide to, little kid's toy, decided to do the laundry when they got a pile. Spider webs. Although I don't see any washer and dryer hookup down here. But you see kids' toys all throughout this building. So I mean, it's clue cards. So, and worksheet, beer can. This is American industry though. I'm not saying all American industry, but this is typical throughout the United States where you find ghost towns and where you find economic depression. Because I'll say it again, I guarantee that they were living in this facility with the peeling paint and it being in the condition that you see it's in. Not that horrible, but I mean, look at this floor.
No, stuff's labeled 2012.
Right, so 2012 is the latest date that my wife has found on paperwork and whatnot. This floor did not just get like this over the course of, what, 7, 8 years? And again, it's not saying anything about the family. I'm not trying to publicly shame anybody that lived in these units. It's just further hitting the nail through the grindstone, I guess you would say, on how things can impact a community and how things slowly fall apart for a community. But we're gonna go to the next unit. About that site. you can imagine, I mean, that chair is there. You can imagine somebody in this unit would have sat in that chair probably early morning or late at night and just looked over the small town. Looked over the small town that is slowly decaying. I mean, the entire town's not abandoned. There are people that are still living here, and the guy that I spoke to that I signed the release with, liability release, he's trying to rehab this place. He wants to restore and memorialize, I guess you would say, this area and keep it up and going. He's definitely invested in it. I didn't get too you can see all the peeling paint again. I didn't get too involved with his history, but we did talk a little bit, and it definitely seems like it's something he's very passionate about. We actually have a toilet in this one. Gentleman also told me that there was a bunch of people that bought a bunch of these units just to come in and rip out all the copper and the cast iron pipes, which, I mean, this is history. You really shouldn't just come in and destroy and then leave, because that's what he made it out to seem happen, and I'm sure that is what happened. We'll go downstairs. Go in the basement. The basement looked pretty accessible on this one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. And again, link for his .coms that I have will be down below. He will have a GoFundMe. It's not up and running yet, but once he has that, I will add it to this video as well. Got a small pantry. Still reserve can. Duct tape. That'll fix anything. I think instead of going back upstairs, we'll just exit this way. Huh? Yeah. TVs, worker's vest. Door. And as there's not much to show in some of these, I'm just going to quickly go through them. Although, where's the upstairs to this? I don't see the stairs. Maybe this, yeah, it had to have had stairs. I see stairs going down, or maybe it didn't. Maybe it was split. Maybe entry to upstairs is on the front side. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and back up and show you the entire row here. And it's not just this side. You have over there. I mean, this is a fairly large town. We're gonna go walk to a different part of the town and show you something else that might be similar to this side. We were just down there, guys. Those row there. We're not gonna go in these. They're pretty boarded up. That one is open, but we'll just walk this line here. And again, you can see one brand new window in it, brand new door. Private property, no trespassing. They're trying to rehab this community. They have a long way to go, but the point that they're trying. And same thing with this one. You have electricity on. Somebody's clearly living in that unit. It's just like Centralia, besides the fact that the government hasn't came in and leveled everything, where the people of Centralia that are still living there want to live there. And the reason they're living there is because that's where they grew up. I'm sure that's the same case with a lot of these. And again, I will reiterate, if you come up here, don't just go through these buildings. Some of them are owned by different people, and a lot of, I guess, a couple groups of the people are okay with you doing it, but you need to sign a waiver because, like that gnarly nail right there, if I were to step on it and get tetanus, that's on me. I've signed a waiver. Or if I decide to go up a set of gnarly stairs, or even these stairs, trip down and break my ankle, that's on me and they're protected. But they're allowing you to do it as long as you get a hold of them and sign a waiver. So don't just come in here willy-nilly and have at it. Alright, we're gonna stop the video, we're gonna continue walking around, and then I will start it again. Just to show you, this is a part of that same community. You can see satellite dishes and whatnot. People are living in these and they look like they've been rehabbed, taken care of, and possibly restored. So again, make sure you sign a waiver, come here, respect the property, respect the people, absolutely. If there's people sitting on their porch, don't record them unless you have your permission, their permission to do so. Yeah, this whole row minus this one is really nice. So this is what they're shooting for. They're shooting for everything that I just showed you to look like this and get it back to a running town. Here's a beautiful mural that probably captures the town's history. You had people working, lots of people going to work, kids playing, mom and a kid in the street, and then right there. Here is a set of row homes, and again, this entire place is not abandoned. There are people living in units. This obviously is where they're keeping some of the materials that they're trying to restore these units with. But you can see, bam, brand new door. So they're trying here. But I'm going to give you a really good look at stuff here. You can see there's carpeting. We'll go in a couple of the units that was pointed out to me that I guess he thought were pretty safe to go into. Again, I've signed a liability, so pretty much what's open we can go into. You just got to be really careful. Again, here's another one that maybe they're using to store. No, this looks like it was probably utilized for a while. Some furniture in there, buckets obviously they're keeping. And this one might be alright to walk in, I don't know. Yeah, the floor seems like it's concrete. Just to give you a look at the kitchen, clearly there looks like there was a fire in here. Yeah. So yeah, it was probably the couch that burned, my wife said. I'm just gonna walk over here. Upstairs. Stairs seem fine. Although we're not going to go in there because that floor you can see through the bottom. And that's all burned up. Somebody's shoe. Just go ahead and take a step, one more step in here. Alright guys, we'll catch you on the next part, which will be the row that we can go in and out of. The reason they call it iron soup is because in all the ladles around this area was molten iron. That's what this place was survived off of, built off of, and then demised off of. Once the company shut their doors, this town here met its demise. It employed so many people, I don't remember the exact count, but they shut their doors and this area got hurt horribly. This unit that I'm in right now has been kept as a historical unit, and they're trying to make all the other units historical as well. Well, not historical, they're historical, but they're trying to preserve them, I guess you would say. This one is set up to show what one of these units might have looked like when the workers and the families lived in here. Please note, if you come here, do not just go in buildings. You need to find a guy, or hopefully he'll find you, and you need to sign a waiver. It's a liability waiver. That way, if you hurt yourself going in buildings that are designated to go into, that you're allowed to go into, that you don't sue the owners. Because these are, although they looked abandoned and they look in really rough shape, they are owned by people. So keep that in mind. There will be a link for this area down below, as well as I think like a Facebook link too. I'll try to link some stuff. We'll just go through here. We got the bathroom to hit, and then I'll do a photo shoot in here. We're gonna go ahead and drive around a little bit more. There's a sign that's in the center here, and the noise that you hear over there are a guy rehabbing one of the units, and he's putting in ventilation duct for furnace. And all these units, to, like I said, maybe if they're not rehabbable, I was just speaking to contact again, all these units are rehabbable. They're all cement, they're all poured of thick cement, so every single one of these could be rehabbable. So like that front street, he said somebody came in and did that, like I think a couple years ago. The really nice part that I showed you guys, this whole area could look like it. It just needs help. So again, when his GoFundMe is up, I'm gonna link that. I'm also gonna link his Facebook and .com. Now my wife was just saying right before we found this, it'd be cool if we could find a playground or something, because it probably looked pretty eerie. And this is Jackson Park, and it looks pretty eerie. I don't know what would have been here. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe a pavilion or some sort with, I don't know what the PVC pipe would have been for. You have a steel seating area. Yep, steel. And again, that was the industry. Steel was the industry. You can see my wife walking off in the distance. We'll walk up there. There seems to be more of those steel seats that I just smacked on. Look at those. Look at those. Wow, that's awesome. Look at those slides. Again, steel manufacturing. Those are made out of steel over there. Steel manufacturing was a thing, and that's why it was called iron soup. Or what was it called? Iron soup? Yeah, iron soup. Because in all the ladles was that molten iron, which was iron soup. So this is large history, but it should also be entertaining for you guys. I know a lot of you guys like the abandoned, like the decay. Look how cool is that? Like look at the fabrication that went into this. You don't see that too much anymore because kids aren't as smart as they were. Excuse me, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I could even remember when I was little having something like this and smashing my head off of one of those. You generally don't see that rounded piece anymore, so this is awesome. Then you have a nice, this looks like maybe cement, little seating area. This is wonderful. And this day trip did not start off coming here. This was going to be added to another video that I'll have up, but this video is getting done first. The other video is a abandoned amusement park where there wasn't too much. So again, we're dealing with heavy cement here. Like you see thick cement. You don't see cement tables like this being built, period. They're usually wood with metal, and this is awesome. Like, this is just par of awesome. Well, I'm gonna run around here, guys. I'm gonna do a little photo shoot. Basketball court seems to be in decent condition. Both nets are still up. The backboards aren't broken. This is awesome. So if I find anything else, we'll pipe it into the video. Now, if you guys can see, all these buildings, I think, were for the steel company. A lot of them have been bought and repurposed, so they're actually working out of. But you can imagine the size of the operation that was here, and then just to shut their doors and all the people losing their jobs. So I just wanted to show you guys up here, and now there is a store behind me that I didn't show because there's somebody standing out. But we have a nightclub, I would assume, the Ultimate Club with a Pepsi logo. It is closed. have another building that's coming up. Wait for it. I got bugs all over my windshield from the last trip. Another building here with a Pepsi logo that's closed. There's 3 buildings here with Pepsi logos, and 2 out of the 3 are closed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Here's a few select images that I took. Again, if you come here, sign the release form, respect the place. This is history.